Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Ernest, and the page you're watching right now is Social Media Mad X. And here we talk about justice and injustice. The actual name of the show is Justice on Time, and I want to introduce you to like three people that we're fighting for their freedom and life. One is Marlon Jazz Taylor. This is a very good friend of mine. He's locked up in United States Penitentiary, McQuarrie, and Pine Knot, Kentucky. He has a mandatory life sentence for a nonviolent drug offense. We're going to do all we can do to bring him home, and we're going to ask for your help. And as you go throughout this show and can continue to join us, we're going to tell you how you can help us. Also, Manuel Perez Colon is from Puerto Rico. He's also in United States Penitentiary, McQuarrie. He has a life sentence, a mandatory life sentence for a nonviolent drug offense. This is unreasonable, unacceptable. We must do something about this. And Maurice Smith, another one of our brothers who we're fighting for his life and his freedom. He is locked up in United States Penitentiary, Beaumont. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you joining us. Hope that you work with us so we can help bring these brothers and sisters home. And I just want to say this personally to those people who have family members who are incarcerated in the United States Federal Bureau of Prison, that we will be fighting for the freedom and the life of those people who are trapped inside the Federal Bureau of Prison with mandatory life sentence with no justification at all. But right now I want to take time to introduce you to the law doctor. The law doctor can help us do many things, especially for those people who just got incarcerated, or family members who have family members who have just got incarcerated. So at this time, Mr. Law Doctor, how you doing?
Yeah, how you doing, Mr. Ernest? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Hey, it's one thing that I wanted to ask you about that I was kind of curious about. And that is when they talk about a plea deal or a plea bargain, what are some of the things that we should look for that'll help us that we can actually benefit from?
Okay, the federal rules and criminal procedures, Rule 11, govern a plea. Well, see, it's a difference between a plea hearing and a plea agreement.
Okay.
Rule 11 is a plea hearing where the judge, you come in and the judge will ask you, the factual basis for the plea. So whether it's written or it's non-written, because some people take non-written plea agreements. They might take a plea under the alpha plea where it's a case derives from the case called Alford versus North Carolina, but went to the United States Supreme Court, where the guy Alford was in maybe the 50s or 60s or 40s or something, a black man. He was accused of committing a crime. I forget which crime it was. I can't remember off the top of my head. But this is Alford versus North Carolina, and he just was saying he pled guilty, but he didn't plead guilty. He stated to the court that, hey, the prosecution has enough evidence to convict me, but I'm innocent of the crime. But they do have enough evidence to convict me, but I'm not admitting any guilt. That's called an alpha plea.
And you can...
With an alpha plea, that's probably the best plea that you can take. But other plea you can take without going to trial.
So with that plea, you pretty much protect your appeal rights and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, you're protecting your appeal rights, but you can protect your appeal rights in an open plea.
Okay.
You can protect your appeal rights in a nolo contendere or no contest plea. See, that's what I'm saying. That's a plea. That's a plea hearing. That's when you plead with no contract. A plea agreement is really a contract.
Okay. And what kind of plea agreement would somebody be looking for if they just wanted to plead guilty or they didn't want to go to trial?
And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, you got different types of pleas. So an Alfred plea, a nolle contendere plea, a no contest plea, and there's other pleas that won't require a written agreement, right? But it will entail a guilty plea hearing, because you have to have a hearing waiving your Sixth Amendment right to trial by jury, your Fifth Amendment right to due process of law, yada yada yada. But when it's written, now you agree to certain stipulations and certain terms. Where now you might be entailed. That's when you waive your rights to appeal. You waive your right to post conviction. Whether it's state or federal, federal is a 2255 motion and post conviction motion. Now they even got it where guys are plead guilty in federal court and waive the 18 U.S.C. 3582 rights, and that's a right to file. In this case, any retroactive amendments to the guidelines change or any retroactive case law, which is known as common law. Case law is judge law, U.S. Supreme Court, appellate court, district court, any retroactive rulings that happen to pass, whether it's through the Department of Justice or anything that may help you reduce your sentence, you waive that right to even exercise that statutory right.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So you saying that they asking people to waive their right to file an appeal to something that might happen, to something that ain't even happened, that could be beneficial to them in the future?
Yeah, because it's in exchange for something. What is it in exchange for? Like, it might be in exchange for a certain amount of time when a Rule 11C1C in federal court. Rule 11C, it's a lot going on. That's what I'm saying. So Rule 11C1C is when you agree to a certain amount of time. You and the prosecutor, your lawyer, your prosecutor might say, hey, man, we're going to get this guy 5 years. But in exchange, he's going to waive his right to appeal. He's going to waive his right to 3582. He's going to waive his right to 2255. He's going to waive his right to 2241. He's not going to be able to file anything in court. But with 2255, you can never waive your right to ineffective assistance of counsel, your Sixth Amendment right to effective assistance of counsel. So that never can be waived. Even, so you always can file that in 2255. But you always can file if your sentence is over the statutory maximum. Like, say you're facing a maximum of 10 years. But in exchange for, let's say, 5 years, you might say, well, yeah, I'm willing to waive everything because I know I can do the 5 years. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
Like, it's not a bad thing, but it's just like anything, it's a chess, not checker, so it's strategic. Like, the defense attorney should be like, does this befit my client? Now, when your defense attorney comes in and say, hey, plead guilty to 30 years and waive the rights, plead guilty to 20 years and waive the rights, plead guilty to 15 years and waive the rights, we might say that's draconian or drastic. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but in certain situations, depending on a case-by-case basis, not blanketly, not in general, on a case-by-case basis, because a guy may have a murder, 2 murders. If they say, hey, well, you plead and they got him dead to rights, well, you plead to 25 years and waive the rights. Say he's 25 years old. Is that crazy?
Well, so...
I'm just making an example in theory, So, like I said, they got to understand that you don't have to waive your rights to plead guilty, but the defense attorney isn't going to say that. The defense attorney will lie in federal court. Yeah. Because in federal court, the defense attorney works with either officer of the court, so he works with and for the court.
Yeah.
The judge, the prosecutor, he's going to work with them. I don't care how much money you pay them. If you got a good lawyer, you got a good lawyer. You got a good lawyer, he can be a PD that's a good attorney. You see what I'm saying? But just because you pay him $100,000, $200,000, I got a lawyer. I mean, people can beat out their money all over the place. Go look it up.
Okay.
So you're going to find it. So that's what people, that's the misconception. Oh, if I get a good lawyer, that don't mean anything. Because a lawyer, you'll pay a lawyer $200,000, $250,000 in the federal court, he'll sell you down the river and get you 30 years. You think he beat you out of $40 million? Let's see you again.
No.
Let me get in life.
So the law doctor,
yeah.
We're running out of time. So I just want to say this here. If you have any questions for the law doctor, you can send it to us on the inbox. We'll try to get it to him, and he'll try to provide you with an answer. And we are out of time. So thank you. Hold on.